If you want to grab a spoon,
Yes.
I'll let you mix that around. So it's
putting me to work. I like
Yeah.
Hey everyone, I'm Jessie. I'm the Senior Food and Health Editor at Well+Good. Today I'm here with the wonderful Kelly Leveque as part of our new show, Cook With Us. So tell me a little bit about yourself, Kelly.
Yeah, so I am a holistic nutritionist based in Los Angeles, and I have a couple of books. My newest one, Body Love Everyday, just came out.
Oh,
and
congratulations.
Thank you. It talks about blood sugar balance and making sure you eat all the foods that make you feel full and satisfied.
So funny you should say that, because today's challenge is making a satisfying, warming winter soup that's healthy, vegetarian, and comes together in 30 minutes or less. So with that in mind, what do you have planned for us today?
So today we're gonna make my meatball and zoodle soup, but we're swapping out the meatballs and we're making vegetarian lentil-based meatballs.
Lentils, very interesting. I'm extremely intrigued. Why don't we just get straight to it? I'm so excited.
Awesome. Okay, first we want to make the meatballs.
Okay.
These meatballs are made without meat. They're made with lentils, a bunch of herbs. We're using flax meal and almond meal, so that's going to make sure that we have a complete protein, which is great.
Yeah.
But first, we want to sweat the shallots and the garlic. So we'll just turn the fire on medium-high heat. And we'll add about a tablespoon of olive oil. Just a little bit to coat the shallots and onions. And if you wanna grab a spoon,
Yes.
I'll let you mix that around and make sure that they're covered and coated in the olive oil. So it's
Putting me to work, I like.
Yeah.
So Italian meatball soup, is that just like something you like cooking? Like, is there a story behind this recipe?
Well, I've always loved Italian food. I'm not Italian, I'm Croatian actually, but my mom always used to make spaghetti and meatballs, and I was looking for a healthier alternative. Swapping out pasta for zoodles is really popular right now, but it's a great way to increase your fiber and phytochemical or antioxidant.
Garlic is good for immunity. There's like all kinds of great stuff going on just in these two basic ingredients.
Right, that's the Allison present. And a great tip for garlic is anytime you're gonna use garlic, it makes sense to crush it and wait 5 to 10 minutes because that increases the Allison levels before you use it in a recipe.
Interesting, so the crushing kind of releases that?
Exactly, that's gonna release that.
So interesting.
There we go. I'm gonna bring this over to you.
Okay.
And we are going to put it into the food processor.
Okay.
We're gonna drop these in here. Perfectly translucent, not smoking, not burnt. Very important. Okay, perfect. So now we need the protein, and the protein base in this is lentils.
Okay.
And it's also gonna serve up a great deal of fiber. So you can go ahead and add those to the food processor.
Here we go, we got our beautiful lentils.
Great.
The fiber content is so great for digestive health, which is really awesome.
Absolutely.
It's going into like a meatball
Yeah,
form, which I'm
and it's
excited
gonna
about.
fill you up. You can buy dry lentils and pressure cook them or cook them on a stovetop. I personally am a girl on the go. Like I'm always looking for a quick under 30-minute meal. So these are pre-cooked lentils.
Oh, smart.
And you can always buy them pre-cooked at the grocery store as well. That's a hack to make this recipe a lot faster.
Okay, so what's next after our lentils?
So now instead of using an egg, since this is 100% plant-based, we're gonna use flax meal.
So it's just ground up flaxseed?
It's just ground up flax seeds, and it's a hack for making a flax egg, because some people will mix flax meal with water and it turns into an egg replacement.
Okay.
But a lot of times if there's enough liquid in your meal, then it's gonna absorb that liquid and create that gelatinous egg type consistency.
without having to use like
you don't have
extra
to make the flax egg first, you can just make it directly in the food processor. That really allows for the fiber and water to gel together.
Oh, so smart. Okay.
And Italian seasoning, no meatball is complete without Italian seasoning.
So what exactly is, it's a blend, right? So what exactly is in it?
Yeah, so that's gonna have oregano, garlic, thyme, rosemary, and parsley. Next would be the olive oil. So we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of olive oil just to make sure that we have enough hydration there for the flax meal. We're gonna add parsley, fresh parsley, a pinch of salt, and this is already pre-cooked, so once you make the mixture, you can always taste it and see how the seasoning level is, and you can add more if you like more. And then we'll do a pinch of pepper, and then here is where it comes down to personal preference, the Parmesan. So if you're plant-based, it's a vegan Parmesan. You just wanna find a clean, minimal ingredient alternative, or you can omit it. It's up to you.
Shall we use it today?
Yeah, let's use it. So we're gonna grab about half of that. It's a couple of tablespoons, and we're good to go. And then we just want to round out the flavor with a little nutritional yeast and tomato paste.
Okay.
So nutritional yeast is a great source of B vitamins. and also amino acids.
This is sorry to interrupt, but this is a random question. What is nutritional? It's made out of yeast?
Yeah, it is a yeast, and it is a great source of B12.
Okay, and then we've got a tablespoon of tomato paste, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. And what is the tomato paste aiming to do here?
It's just
like
gonna
extra
bring in
flavor?
that like sort of Italian marinara tomato flavor. And tomato paste is a great source of lycopene, which is a type of antioxidant present in cooked tomatoes. It actually increases the content of lycopene when we cook tomatoes.
We have all of our ingredients in here, so then we just pulse it?
Yeah, we're just gonna pulse it. We wanna make sure that it doesn't become too soft or whipped. We wanna still have some texture there. Perfect, give it a break for a sec. So you can see it's pretty well combined, but you still have chunks, which is good. It gives the meatball texture. You don't want it to be too whipped. You can see some of the garlic and onion still present, some bits of herbs. It's gonna be beautiful. So what we're gonna do is I'll give you a little dollop, and I want you to create a little ball. And if you wanna grab that almond flour and bring it over here.
So here's the almond flour.
I'm so bossy.
I'm so bossy.
So we're just gonna create that roll and then roll a little bit of the almond flour on the outside.
What would be the spoon size in terms of like when you're making these meatballs, like a tablespoon size?
Yeah, I always use a tablespoon. Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands and we'll get to frying up these meatballs in the frying pan.
Awesome.
So we're gonna add about a tablespoon of olive oil just to coat the pan.
And how hot is the pan right now?
It's medium high. It's about the same as when we sauteed the shallots and garlic. If you plop them in and they're not sizzling yet, you can turn it up a little bit and wait before you turn the meatballs, because we really want that sizzle to create that crust.
And so how long do you cook it and kind of let it hang out before you, like you said, turn them?
So they're fully cooked. It's just about creating that crust to also make sure that they keep their shape, right?
Got it.
But if you're pressed for time and you wanna just flip them over a couple of times and pull them off the fire, you're good to go. Great, and we'll add a couple more. Anytime you're cooking in a fry pan, it's important not to crowd your pan.
Yeah.
Do you wanna grab a plate so
grab
that
you a
once they're ready, we'll start taking them off?
I'll put it on this side here and they can just drop them in there. Is that good?
Perfect.
That was pretty fast too. I mean, those were only in there for like a minute?
Yeah,
Ish?
really quick. All right, so last couple meatballs. Next up, we're just gonna add some veggies and some broth to this big pot with our zoodles. Let them all cook, and then we'll plop these lentil meatballs in last.
Oh, nice, okay. So you kind of like cook the meatballs first, you do the soup, and then kind of the meatballs come back in.
Yeah, the difference when you're dealing with plant-based meatballs is that they don't hold up as well to the broth, and they could fall apart, so you wanna add those last.
Smart.
Time for the soup.
Okay.
So we're gonna start the same way we started with our meatballs. We're gonna sweat the onions and the garlic, and we're gonna add celery as well to 2 tablespoons of olive oil.
Okay.
Perfect. So if you wanna throw the garlic and the onions and the celery into the pot, and we're gonna let this sweat on medium heat for somewhere around 4 to 6 minutes until the onions are translucent.
Awesome.
And I'm just gonna add a little salt and pepper. And then we can add the rosemary, the bay leaves, the basil, and parsley, yep. And then we wanna add broth and tomatoes. So we're using 8 cups of vegetable broth and a can of organic tomatoes.
And just chopped? Like diced or chopped?
Yeah, diced or chopped. And that's also gonna add flavor to our broth. Almost gives it that sort of Italian minestrone type of a broth.
Nice.
And while this is coming to a boil, I'm just gonna add the zoodles. And once these are al dente, everything is already cooked. We can add these warm meatballs to the final product to be incorporated, and it's done.
Nice.
That easy. What I'll end up doing is I'll drop the meatballs that we're gonna use into our bowl.
Okay.
Say like 3 to 4 per person. And then we can add some of these zoodles and veggies right on top. Woo! There we go.
That looks great.
And then I'm going to grab some broth. Perfect. And then if you want to add a little bit of parsley to the top of that for garnish, that would be great. I'm gonna bring this off the heat. All right, so this is done. And now is the test.
I'm very excited to eat this.
It's a real test.
It smells amazing. It looks really good. That's really good.
Yes.
And it's really flavorful, and it doesn't taste like lentils. It tastes like a meatball, which I was worried that it would just taste like I was eating a ball of lentils, but it's really, really delicious, and like all of those nice spices that we put in are really coming through. Okay, so now I have to judge you. It's the judgment day. So I think in terms of the original parameters of our challenge, which as a reminder was a warming winter soup that was vegetarian and came together in 30 minutes or less, you ticked all of those boxes. We basically made this in 30 minutes. We've got all vegetables, everything about it was plant-based. There was no egg in here. The broth is vegetarian, like everything about it. You just like ticked all of those boxes of the core criteria. And now in terms of kind of like our general other things that we rank you on, because this is just a challenge, I would say in terms of ease, this was a super easy recipe. I was really worried, I have to admit, when you told me meatballs, because I was like, oh, meatballs, like who's gonna make that?
They take forever, right?
They take forever, they get really messy on your hands, but the fact that you're using some pre-cooked ingredients is like kind of a smart shortcut. So I think you get 10 out of 10 for ease. Really good job.
Thanks.
Flavor, I would also say is 10 out of 10. This is delicious. I mean, like you just take these really simple classic flavors and then present them in a new way, which I think is really exciting. And then I think creativity, again, you get full marks, 10 out of 10. I truly would have never thought to put zoodles in a soup. And I think also making meatballs out of lentils is, again, not something that I would have personally thought to do. And I'm very mad that it took me, I was today years old when I found out that you could do that. Yeah. And then I think nutrition-wise, you just totally hit it out of the park. You worked really hard and were super thoughtful to make sure that this had a really good balance of protein, fat, and fiber. And not only that, plant-based protein is really tricky, and you managed to make this a complete protein, which is really awesome. We don't often give out bonus points, but I'm giving you bonus points today for knowledge, because I felt like in addition to all of the great things that you brought with this recipe, I felt like I learned so much about other cooking aspects that I would have never known.
I'm so excited. I mean, that's the point. I want to make cooking and taking care of yourself easy. I mean, those are all the tips that I give in my new book, Body Love Every Day. I just want people to know it's all about fueling up with the good stuff and getting those nourishing bites and feeling satisfied at the end of the day.
Yeah, I never knew zoodles could taste so good. Truly, I'm very impressed. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you, Kelly, for cooking with us. This has been so much fun.
It was such a pleasure.
Yeah, it was so much fun. And please follow along with us and join us next time.
And let me know if you make the recipe and comment. Let me know how it goes. I want to know who's making this recipe at home.
And if you want more Cook With Us, subscribe right now.